Hi there, Chris here with another fresh tip for you all. In this video, we are going to continue our look at painting the Primaris Outrider from the Indomitus 40K box set. As you can see, we have done a fair amount onto the bike, and as we had weathered the tires in the previous video, we are going to continue with that vibe in this video. And so to get us started, I am going to use this old Space Marine vehicle transfer sheet, as it has Black Templar icons on it. Not the big ones, the more smaller ones. I'm going to use some clamping tweezers. I'm going to use a nice fresh X-Acto blade to slice out the design. I'm going to use a shallow dish, and I'm also going to use some nice clean tap water. I'm just going to fill up the dish so that there's about a millimeter or so of water at the base. I've already cut out the design. You can see, well, you can barely see the white design there. I chose these Black Templar symbols as they are white because obviously we are going to be applying these onto a black surface or dark surface. I use the clamping tweezers. Make sure I'm grabbing mostly paper and not grabbing the design. I'm going to use the shade wash brush because it's got nice long bristles for this. I just like to use this brush for this type of job. And of course, with this, I simply dunk the transfer into the water. I normally, whenever I'm doing transfers, I usually add like a little cap full of vinegar. I didn't bother just because of time constraints, so I just slapped it in there and, have at her. At about two or 3 minutes later, the transfer begins to slide, so I simply wet the surface before I take the transfer out, and then with the brush I hold it in place and basically kind of like the tablecloth magic trick, I basically pull the transfer sheet out from under the transfer. Once I kind of have the transfer in place, I simply take some excess water from the dish and apply it over the entirety of the transfer and surrounding area and move the transfer into the position that I want. Once I have it in that position, I simply dry the brush off and begin drawing up the excess moisture off the surface and very gently squeegee out the excess moisture from under the transfer. Now, mind you that this will work just fine if you have applied a gloss varnish underneath. The transfer will sit perfectly fine on that surface, and in fact, you probably wouldn't even need to continue on. But here I'm going to use Walther's solvent set to basically melt the transfer into the surface. Now, like I said, I did not gloss varnish this beforehand, so this is kind of not typically what I do for transfers, like kind of a best practices, but I do apply a somewhat generous amount of Walther's onto the transfer. After you've done that, do not touch it, do not move it, do not do anything to it, so be 100% sure of where you want that transfer. Once I've done both sides and tried to match them up to where I had initially placed that first one, I did that for the second one. And really quickly, I'm going to take some Lamian medium. As you can see, the carrier on the transfer, which is that kind of glossy outline around the transfer, you can kill that immediately by just simply using some matte medium. I'm just using Lamian medium here as it finishes with a matte finish. So essentially it's a matte varnish. And I simply just apply it to the surface. I apply it to that whole panel just so that it kind of, has a uniform kind of look. Because if that was where we were going to leave it, then everything is hunky-dory. Fun word. And as you can see, it melts into the surface just fine, and it looks part of the model, and it looks kind of like it was hand painted on there, right? So, but we're going to continue on. I'm going to use my clamping tweezers. I'm going to use a nice squeezy sponge here. You can get these at any big box store. They used to come in the blister packs of metal miniatures and such, so you can pretty much find those anywhere, any which way you go. Abaddon Black and some Mournfang Brown. We're going to mix these roughly 1 to 1. I'm going to take these onto the palette, and I'm not going to use any thinners or anything with this, and it's really a rough mix. I'm not too worried about the mixture, and any kind of marbling going on actually will play into our to our advantage when we begin stippling with the sponge onto the surface. So I simply just take a little bit of the sponge, run it through the paint, dab it onto my palette, make sure there's not too much paint on the surface, and then begin sponging around. Now, when I'm doing this, I was trying to concentrate most of the chipping where I felt it would logically chip. So it's the forward leading edge of the model closest from the ground kind of up. But then also I did this back edge because I figured that the Space Marine himself would kick these parts and, all these kind of wear and tear kind of issues. That's also why I did the handlebars, the little devices on the handlebars. Those also got chipping as well, because I imagine that those would wear out as his big clunky hands would, knock paint off here and there. And a very minimal amount on that back wheel guard, so that, it's just, representing like pebbles and whatever you can imagine as far as why there's weathering. It's not a just kind of, just randomly slapping it around the surface. I'm actually, giving some thought as far as where the chipping would occur. And so I'm applying it as mostly logical as one might imagine. So it's on the underside, it's on the forward leading edge, as you would imagine lots of chipping and things of that nature as bullets are shooting at them and, knocking paint off and whatever you can imagine, right? Mournfang Brown is next. We're going to slap this onto the palette. We're going to grab a fresh little sponge and we are going to apply this color. We're going to try and duplicate what we had previously laid down, but we're going to try and do it a little bit less, but within where we had previously laid that last color down. We're kind of building up a little bit of a layering going on here. So now this kind of looks a bit like almost like chipped paint, but it's very, very rusty, because maybe this is an old bike with a new rider kind of thing. I don't know. We're telling some sort of story here, as it were. And that's really one of the aspects of miniature painting, is that when you really start getting to a certain point, you are kind of telling stories with these models, and thinking about how weathering would occur on a surface is important, believe it or not, because it allows you to get into the character of the model and really kind of explore the universe, as it were, that the model occupies. And, adding these little elements of what we understand as realism are a lot of fun and a nice way to kind of ground the model and where it occupies in the universe, kind of in a logical space, as it were. And you may or may not notice that I have not touched that Space Marine with any of this technique or chipping or anything like that, because we're going to work on the Space Marine separately. He is going to get painted a little bit differently. We're going to finish him off eventually. Abaddon Black is next. We're going to slap this onto a palette. We don't really need that much. I grab a fresh piece of sponge, and just really quickly here, we're going to work on the transfer itself. We're going to make the transfer look like it's painted on, but it's chipping as well and showing the black paint underneath. I didn't really worry about hitting it with the browns because it didn't really matter. And I want just the ever so hint of the black paint job underneath. Now, I was kind of going a bit randomly there, but with this side, I decided, you know what, let's do it on the forward leading edge of the transfer itself to kind of, give the impression that it's wearing more intensely at the forward leading edge of the bike. And so as you can see there, it's kind of like half of the transfer is kind of worn and a little bits are knocked out here and there. Again, it's a very, very minimal approach. When you're doing this sponge technique, you do not apply a lot of pressure to your sponge. And if you can feel, you're making contact with the tweezers or whatever, you are applying way too much pressure. We're going to use some Mournfang Brown here, as well as a bit of Baneblade Brown. We mix these together ever so slightly, and with our detail brush here, we are simply going to establish these brighter points within the rust and everything like that, and the chipping on this model. Again, this is kind of just picking out some of the edges and just really kind of defining areas, as well as kind of, you'll see I'm just creating little dots here and there. And what I'm going for is any of the big areas that I may have applied too much pressure and got kind of big spots on, that can work to your advantage, because you can basically create a highlight and shadow situation there and create a bit of depth on the model's surface with that. We could also come in with a light gray and also create those highlights as well. So, there's many ways to go about with this kind of effect. I stuck with brown because I kind of like this idea of this heavily rusted exterior. And then in some of the areas where we have not gotten with the sponge, this is our opportunity to kind of get into some of those points as well. So again, you can see like closest to the bolt gun, there's that little space there before the bolt guns, and we didn't get that with the sponge, and so the brush we can do it. Here you can see it's a very, very minimal approach. And then here I'm just going to add some scratches in, and I do them at an angle, building that intensity towards that forward edge, representing maybe a gouge or, you know, something, maybe a sword swipe by as he was driving by kind of thing. Whatever you want to imagine, or just, you know, big pebbles, and maybe it's a dangerous planet he's on and just big rocks are killing people. I don't know. It's really whatever you can imagine at this point. And you can see there that once we have it all gussied up, as it were, it looks really darn cool. It gives a lot of depth, and of course it's going to add some nice contrast once we start getting into the space marine and filling out his details and everything like that. And of course also we got to do those bolt guns on the bike. Big thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below and it'll take you off to a magical website where there are varying levels to support at, and a huge thank you to everybody considering that. Take care of your brushes, and they will take care of you.